Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, so you sent us this huge pile of research, neuroimaging reports, clinical trials, even ancient anatomical texts.
Wait, this back, yeah.
And our mission today is basically to take all that dense stuff and turn it into something practical. A blueprint for self-mastery, maybe?
Yeah, it's like that. A blueprint.
Specifically, we're diving deep into the neuroscience of calm. How targeted acupressure can basically act like a physical off switch for anxiety, for stress.
And that feeling of being totally fried from information overload, which is, let's be honest, pretty common.
Definitely. It feels essential because for so many people, and maybe especially for women dealing with hormonal changes on top of work pressure, anxiety isn't just something that happens sometimes. It feels like it's always there.
It's a constant companion, yeah. So we've really combed through the literature to get beyond the usual vague advice. We want to show you exactly where to press, how to press, and why, based on actual anatomical and neurological data, verifiable stuff.
And that mix of ancient wisdom and super modern science like fMRI scans, watching the brain change, EEG tracking brain waves, that's where it gets really fascinating, I think.
It really is.
So for you listening, if you want to be really informed but you don't exactly have time to wade through 40 research papers.
Which who does?
Exactly. We're translating the complex language of the body's control panel into 5 specific, actionable self-care techniques, things you can literally start doing today.
Yeah, our mission is pure translation. And we should probably clarify up front what makes this advanced acupressure. It's not just like a general shoulder rub we're talking about.
Good point. So not just any point, but specific ones.
We're talking about points that modern clinical imaging actually confirms are critical physiological junctions, key spots.
So maybe not secret points, but the anatomical heavy hitters, the important intersections.
Precisely. Locations that consistently map right onto neurovascular bundles, where major nerves, arteries, and veins are all clustered together. Or they're really active intersections in the fascial network. Stimulating these specific anatomical markers gives you these strong, measurable responses, neurological or physiological.
Let's talk about that clinical significance then, because if you're dealing with stress, you really want to know, does this stuff actually work? What are the sources saying about the bigger picture effects?
The evidence is pretty robust, especially when you look at the autonomic nervous system, the system controlling all involuntary reactions.
Fight or flight, rest and digest.
Exactly. And targeted acupressure shows a really strong ability to modulate that system. It doesn't just block the fight or flight, the sympathetic tone, it actively boosts the rest and digest response, the parasympathetic side. It actually helps flip the balance back.
That makes immediate sense. When you feel stuck in that high alert mode, heart pounding, mind racing, you just want that internal alarm bell to stop ringing.
And for mental health outcomes, the sources are really compelling. We're seeing trial results showing substantial, clinically significant improvements in both depression and generalized anxiety symptoms.
Wow.
For a lot of participants, these effects were actually comparable to or worked really well alongside conventional treatments like therapy or medication. It's a legitimate path towards better emotional regulation.
It gives you a sense of actual control, doesn't it? It's comforting to know that when everything feels overwhelming, you don't necessarily need some huge intervention. Sometimes you just need to know exactly where to put your thumb.
It's empowering.
And we promise we will deliver those 5 specific spots with the details on pressure and timing so you can start right away. Maybe even find it a bit funny, pushing on yourself to get calm.
Yeah, there's a bit of irony there.
But the science is serious. First, though, we need to understand how it all works. The mechanisms.
Let's pop the hood, so to speak, and look at the body's control panel.
Okay, so let's shift from what the results we can measure to the how. How does pressing a specific spot for a few minutes actually create such a big physiological shift from feeling chronically stressed to genuinely calm? We need to get into the anatomy in the brain.
Okay, the core mechanism really starts with neuroanatomy. These points, whether they're on your wrist, your foot, your head, they aren't random. They're chosen for very specific reasons.
Yeah.
The first layer to understand is the fascial network. Fascia is sometimes called the body's biggest sensory organ. It's that continuous web of connective tissue.
The stuff that wraps around everything, muscles, organs, nerves.
Exactly, it's all interconnected. When you apply pressure to an acupoint, let's say one on the leg like ST36, which we know sits at a fascial plane intersection, that physical mechanical signal doesn't just stay local.
So you're basically pulling a thread on this huge body-wide sensor net.
That's a great way to put it. That mechanical signal gets transmitted throughout the entire fascial system. And that transmission is thought to be one key way. It influences body-wide autonomic regulation. It sends calming signals far beyond just the spot you're pressing.
Okay, fascia. And then you mentioned neurovascular bundles. Why does having nerves and arteries close by make a point more potent?
Think of it like a communication junction box, maybe.
Oh.
These points are often located right over or very close to major arteries, veins, and large nerve trunks.
Okay.
Take a point like ST9, near the carotid triangle in the neck. Applying pressure or needling near a convergence like that creates a much stronger physiological response.
Why is that?
Because you're directly stimulating mechanoreceptors, sensors in the tissue, that fire signals straight up the spinal cord and right to the brainstem. That rapid signal transmission is what leads to those quick, system-wide effects, like changes in heart rate.
Which really underlines why precision matters,
Yeah.
right? Just randomly rubbing isn't going to cut it.
Not for these specific effects, no.
But we also need to talk about the how of applying it. The pressure itself. The sources were really specific about depth-dependent access.
Yes, this is a really critical detail.
Yeah.
It's what separates this kind of targeted self-care from just a general massage. The research spells out that the body's response actually changes based on how hard you press.
Okay, so we need some real-world examples here. Give us the analogies. How much pressure are we talking about?
Let's define it. Light pressure is generally considered 0.5 to 2 pounds of force.
What does that feel like?
Imagine the pressure you'd use to barely indent a soft cushion, or maybe the weight of a thick paperback book just resting on your skin. That kind of light touch mainly affects the superficial sensory layers.
And what does that do?
That's linked to immediate parasympathetic activation, that quick relaxation response you need for acute stress, the calm down now signal.
Okay, that's light pressure. What about the deep stuff?
Right, firm pressure is more in the range of 4 up to maybe 8 pounds.
Okay, harder to visualize analogy.
Think about the pressure needed to actually flatten a slightly inflated tennis ball. That kind of deeper force is what you need to get through to the deep fascia, reach the muscles, and activate deeper visceral reflexes.
And why would you need that deeper pressure?
That influences the really profound neurological centers, like the hypothalamus and the brainstem. So if your goal is more like constitutional change, hormonal balance, or releasing really deep muscle tension, you need that firmer pressure. The goal literally dictates the force.
That makes total sense. Match the technique to the desired depth of change. Okay, now let's bring in the high-tech proof. You mentioned brain scans. What did the neuroimaging actually show? How does it validate this?
The electroencephalography, the EEG, gives us the clearest picture of rapid changes. When we stimulate key calming acupoints, some of the ones we'll detail later, like yin-tang, the third eye spot, and Benshin, GB13, we see a significant measurable increase in alpha power in the brainwaves.
Okay, alpha power. What does that mean for me, the listener, feeling overwhelmed?
Alpha waves operate in the 8 to 12 hertz frequency range. They're strongly associated with a state of relaxed alertness, that feeling you get during light meditation or when you're deeply focused but calm.
Yeah, that in the zone but chill feeling.
Exactly. That's the electrical signature of calm. And what's really striking is the speed. The sources show this boost in alpha activity, which correlates with people reporting feeling calmer, can happen within 60 to 90 seconds of starting this stimulation.
Wait, 60 seconds to actually shift your brain state?
It's remarkably fast for a natural therapeutic response.
Okay, I'm starting to think my phone timer might be my new best friend for self-care.
Could be. Then there's the functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI. That looks more at blood flow and how different brain regions are connected and communicating.
Right.
And what the fMRI studies show is that deep pressure stimulation, the kind used for those deeper constitutional effects, is directly linked with reduced connectivity in the default mode network, or DMN.
The DMN. Let's definitely talk about this, because for anyone dealing with chronic anxiety, this network often feels like the enemy.
It can certainly feel that way. It's basically the brain network that's active when you're not focused on the outside world. It handles all that self-referential thinking.
Like worrying about the past.
Yes, or excessively planning for the future, or just having that endless loop of negative self-talk running in the background.
The one that wakes you up at 3 a.m. replaying conversations from 5 years ago.
That's the one. Precisely. And in anxiety and depressive disorders, the DMN is often hyperactive. Its connections are abnormal.
So acupressure can quiet that down.
By reducing its activity and connectivity through these targeted pressure seems to trigger pathways that stimulate inhibitory neurotransmission. GABA is the main inhibitory or calming neurotransmitter in our central nervous system.
So more GABA means more calm.
Essentially, yes. Boosting GABA is like hitting the brakes. It reduces overall neuronal excitability, which leads directly to less anxiety and helps relax muscles.
The body's built-in tranquilizer, basically, but without the side effects.
That's a good analogy. Second, there's the modulation of serotonin and norepinephrine. Now, this is complex, but the key thing is that stimulation affects how these crucial mood-regulating chemicals, these monoamines, are used by the body.
How?
Specifically, research points to the modulation of something called the 5-HT1A receptor.
Okay, technical term alert. 5-HT1A receptor. Plain English.
Think of it like the body's natural dimmer switch for panic and stress signals.
Okay, a dimmer switch. I like that.
When this receptor gets activated, it actually slows down the firing rate of certain serotonin neurons that can become overactive during stress. So by gently modulating this switch, acupressure contributes to known anxiolytic anti-anxiety effects. It helps calm the system, improve mood, motivation, and even sleep without just shutting everything down.
Fascinating. Okay, GABA, serotonin norepinephrine modulation. What else?
And finally, the feel-good chemicals. Endogenous opioids.
Endorphins.
Endorphins and enkephalins, yes. Mechanical stimulation, particularly that deeper pressure we talked about, triggers the release of these. They're our body's own potent, natural pain relievers and mood elevators.
So that explains that feeling of relief, maybe even slight euphoria after.
Exactly. Their release causes that mild pain reduction, that analgesia, and that subjective mood boost that often comes with deep relaxation. It's a really sophisticated, built-in chemical response to targeted physical touch.
Okay, that's the validation. We know why it seems to work. The anatomy, the measurable brain changes, the powerful neurotransmitter effects. Now, let's get to the actionable stuff. Let's turn the science into immediate, practical self-care. Time to dive into those 5 specific protocols for managing anxiety and supporting emotional balance, especially thinking about the women listening.
All right, and remember, for these techniques, we need to be precise about location and how to apply the pressure. When we talk about finding the points, we'll use a measurement called kun.
Kun. Since we can't see each other, let's explain that right now. How does someone figure out a kun on their own body?
Good idea. A kun is basically a proportional body measurement. It's relative to your body size. The easiest way for self-location is this. 1 kun is generally the width of the knuckle crease on your thumb.
Okay, width of the thumb joint.
And if we say 3 kun, that's typically the width of your other 4 fingers index, middle, ring, pinky, held together at the middle knuckle joints.
Got it. So it's personalized.
Exactly. Ensures the location is right for your unique body structure.
Perfect. Okay, let's start at the head. The ultimate tool for quieting the mind when that information overload really hits.
Protocol 1. The head clear benchen, GB13. Our first spot is gallbladder 13 benchen. It translates roughly to root of the spirit.
Root of the spirit. I like that. Where is it?
You'll find it about 0.5 kun, so
Yeah.
half a thumb width, out from the midline of your forehead, right near your natural hairline. Often it's about halfway between the outer edge of your eyebrow or temple area and the very top center of your forehead.
Okay, near the hairline, slightly off center. Why is this one so good for anxiety?
Its location is key. It seems to directly influence blood flow and neural activity in the prefrontal cortex region.
Which is our brain's CEO. Executive function, emotional control.
Exactly. And the clinical sources specifically mention its effectiveness for things like insomnia, that feeling of acute anxiety, and just persistent mental restlessness or brain chatter.
Okay, practical scenario. I'm at my desk, feeling overwhelmed. Maybe before a big meeting, my mind's racing. How do I use GB13?
This is perfect for a light touch approach. You want to use light perpendicular pressure. Remember our scale, level 1 or 2, just the weight of your fingertips.
Okay.
Apply it to the points on both sides of your forehead simultaneously. Hold it for about 2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes, light pressure.
Yep. Because it's shown to help boost those alpha waves we talked about, it's
Yeah.
really ideal for quickly recentering your focus, getting some cognitive stillness. It's also great to do before trying to sleep. And you can do it pretty subtly, even at your desk.
Nice. Okay, point 1, GB13, the head clearer. Next.
Protocol 2, the anti-anxiety anchor Naguan, PC6. Let's go down to the wrist for this one. Pericardium 6, or Naguan, meaning inner gate.
PC6. I think people know this one for motion sickness, but you're saying it's a powerhouse for anxiety too.
Absolutely. It's the anti-nausea, anti-anxiety point. It really bridges physical comfort and mental calm.
Okay, location refresher for PC6.
It's exactly 2 thumb widths up from the main crease of your wrist on the palm side of your forearm.
In the middle?
Dead center, yeah. You'll feel it nestled between the 2 prominent tendons there, the palmaris longus and flexor carpi radialis. If you make a light fist and flex your wrist, you usually see or feel them pop up.
Got it. 2 thumb widths up, between the tendons, and indications beyond nausea.
Definitely anxiety, especially the kind where you feel it physically, like chest tightness or heart palpitations, that fluttery feeling. Also just general emotional imbalance.
What's the connection? Why is this spot so potent for calming the nervous system?
It seems to have a really direct line to the vagus nerve system. PC6 stimulation activates strong vagal and cardiac regulation pathways.
The vagus nerve, that's the main nerve of the parasympathetic system, right? Rest and digest.
That's the one. Stimulating PC6 sends signals right up to the vagal nucleus in the brainstem, which is like the master controller for calming down. So when you stimulate PC6, you're essentially telling your heart to slow down a bit, telling your body to relax.
So it's an immediate way to soothe that heart-mind connection that gets so stressed with anxiety.
Precisely.
Okay, how do we press it for general anxiety relief?
For this one, you'll want moderate pressure. Think level 2 to 4 on our scale, a comfortable, firm press. Use your opposite thumb.
And duration?
Hold it for about 3 to 5 minutes. That gives the vagal signal enough time to really propagate through the system.
3 to 5 minutes, moderate pressure. Okay.
Now, we absolutely have to state a critical safety warning here, which the sources emphasize very strongly.
Okay, important. What is it?
PC6 is traditionally used in acupuncture and acupressure to help promote labor. Therefore, it must be strictly avoided during pregnancy until labor is actually underway and intended.
Right, so absolutely no pressing PC6 if you are pregnant, unless directed by a professional during labor.
Correct. Given its power to modulate internal functions, extreme caution is essential here. If you're pregnant, skip this point.
Understood. That's crucial information. Thanks for highlighting it. Okay, point 2. PC6, the anti-anxiety anchor. What's next?
Protocol 3, the rapid relief switch, Shenmen. Ear acupressure. Let's move to actionable way number 3. This is a point you can go to when stress feels really acute, maybe even bordering on panic. It's an ear point called Shenmen, often translated as heavenly gate or spirit gate.
An ear point. Okay, where exactly on the ear?
It's located in the upper part of the ear shell, specifically in what's called the triangular fossa. It's that sort of triangular-shaped depression near the top, just above the opening of the ear canal.
Ah, okay. I think I can feel that little hollow area by the ear.
That spot is a real hot spot for nerve endings. Specifically, it gives you very rapid access to the auricular branch of the vagus nerve.
So vagus nerve again, but maybe even faster access here. If I feel a wave of intense anxiety, maybe even panic, building up, this is the go-to for the quickest possible response.
That seems to be the case, yes. Because of that direct vagal connection right there in the ear, it can trigger very rapid parasympathetic activation. It offers an almost immediate mechanism for emotional release and dialing down acute stress.
What do the sources say it's best for?
Panic attacks are mentioned specifically, also insomnia that's clearly linked to stress, and even general pain relief. And significantly, it's one of the points explicitly noted as being really well suited for simple, effective self-treatment. Easy to do on yourself.
Makes sense. How do you apply pressure there? It seems like a delicate spot.
It is. You want to use light pinching or just fingertip pressure, back to level 1 on our scale. Just enough pressure to feel it, but gentle. You can either lightly rub the point in a small circle, or just apply gentle, sustained pressure. Hold it for about 1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes, light pressure or rubbing.
Exactly. The goal here is rapid, subtle neurological input. Think of this as your discrete, immediate first aid response when you need to stabilize yourself quickly, maybe before a difficult phone call or when you're suddenly feeling overwhelmed in a crowd.
Got it. Shenmen in the ear for rapid relief. Okay, number 4.
Protocol 4, the hormonal balancer Sanyin-jiao, SP6. All right, now we get to what's often considered the most important constitutional point for women's emotional and hormonal health. This is spleen 6, Sanyin-jiao, meaning 3-yin intersection. This is our hormonal balance point.
Okay, constitutional and hormonal balance sound really significant, especially connecting back to women's anxiety. Why is SP6 so central?
Its power seems to lie in its direct link between stress management and the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis.
The HPG axis. Okay, can we break that down simply?
Sure. Think of the HPG axis, this one for 3 to 5 minutes. This longer duration seems necessary for those deeper constitutional effects influencing digestion, yes, but primarily getting maximum impact on that HPG axis regulation.
3 to 5 minutes. Okay.
Now, crucial, absolute caution is needed again here, even more so than PC6 maybe.
Okay, lay it on us.
Because of its extremely powerful ability to influence the reproductive system and pelvic organs, ST6 is strongly forbidden during pregnancy. It's known to potentially promote uterine contractions and induce labor. This is non-negotiable.
So, just to be crystal clear, absolutely do not stimulate SP6 if there's any chance you might be pregnant. Full stop.
Full stop. If there's any doubt whatsoever, choose a different point. Consult a professional.
That distinction between the general calming points and these pertinent regulatory points like SP6 is so important. Thanks for making that incredibly clear. Okay, hormonal balancer SP6. What's our final point?
Protocol 5, the emotional detox, Taichung, LV3. Our fifth point is liver 3, or Taichung, meaning great surge. This one really targets the kind of anxiety that shows up as physical tension, irritability, maybe feeling wound up or even angry. This is our emotional detox spot.
Interesting. Because anxiety isn't always straightforward fear, is it? Sometimes it just feels like frustration or everything is tightening up, shoulders, jaw. LV3 helps with that?
Precisely. That's exactly the kind of stuck energy LV3 is traditionally used for. You find it on the top, the dorsum of your foot.
Okay, top of the foot.
It's in the depression or web space between the bones leading to your big toe and your second toe, the first and second metatarsal bones. If you slide your finger up that channel from between the toes, you'll feel a little hollow just before the bones meet. That's LV3.
Okay, in the webbing between the first two toes, slide up a bit. I can feel that. It seems like pressing a point on the foot might feel quite grounding if your mind is racing.
It often does, yeah. And what does the evidence suggest about its effect on the physical side of stress?
Yeah, what do the sources say?
They confirm its effectiveness for things like depression, managing anger or irritability, menstrual pain or irregularities, headaches, and specifically promoting systemic muscle relaxation.
So when stress makes your neck, jaw, and shoulders lock up like concrete?
LV3 can help release that widespread tension. It's also noted for helping manage hypertension, high blood pressure, which is often linked to chronic stress.
Okay, since this one deals with deeper stagnation, emotional flow, releasing tension, does the pressure need to be different? Stronger?
Yes, generally. For LV3, the protocol usually calls for firm thumb pressure. We're talking level 4 or 5 now. It's maybe 4 to 6 pounds. You should feel a definite, strong pressure, maybe even approaching slight discomfort, but not sharp pain.
Firm pressure, almost uncomfortable, and duration.
Hold it for about 2 to 3 minutes. That deeper stimulation seems necessary to really activate the nerve pathways involved, specifically the deep peroneal nerve intersection, and facilitate that significant release of tension, both physical and emotional.
Okay, LV3, the emotional detox. 2 to 3 minutes, firm pressure. Wow, 5 really remarkable tools, all right there, literally at our fingertips or thumbs. Now, we absolutely have to circle back and reinforce responsible use. This is powerful stuff, this applied neuroscience, and it needs to be treated with respect.
Absolutely. Self-acupressure is generally very safe. Responsible application means knowing the limits and critically understanding the contraindications. As we've stressed, pregnancy is the #1 area for caution. We need to be explicit about this.
Let's reiterate why points like Li4, which we didn't detail today but is common, and SP6, which we did, are so strictly forbidden during pregnancy. What's the mechanism?
It relates to their profound physiological reach. Points like Sanyunjiao, SP6, and Hegu, Li4, are well documented to have a direct effect on uterine smooth muscle activity. They can also influence the release of hormones like oxytocin, which naturally stimulates contractions.
So while a trained professional might use them very specifically to help induce labor when appropriate.
Exactly. Doing it yourself without that knowledge carries significant risk. That's why the sources list several points as absolutely forbidden points during pregnancy. We mentioned SP6 and Li4. Others commonly cited include BL60, Kulum near the outer ankle bone, GB21, Jianjing top of the shoulder muscle, and certain points on the lower abdomen like CV3 or CV4. These points either stimulate the uterus directly or can activate the nervous system in potentially destabilizing ways during pregnancy.
So the golden rule is crystal clear. If you are pregnant or think you might be, avoid these specific points entirely. Stick to the simpler calming points, or better yet, consult a professional trained in prenatal acupressure. If in doubt about any point, just don't stimulate it.
That is the absolute highest clinical guideline.
Yeah.
Safety first, always.
And beyond pregnancy, are there other conditions where people need to be mindful?
Yes, definitely. Anyone with complex medical conditions should ideally coordinate with their healthcare team. For instance, if you're taking blood thinning medication, anticoagulants,
Right.
you'd want to use much lighter pressure and maybe shorter durations just to avoid bruising.
Right.
Similarly, if you're managing severe heart conditions, or if you're on multiple medications, especially psychotropic drugs, it's wise to have a conversation with your doctor. Acupressure can have synergistic effects, impacting neurotransmitter levels that medications also target.
Good point.
We have to keep reiterating. We're sharing information and insights from the research. We're not giving out prescriptive medical advice.
Absolutely. Okay, looking ahead then. The research seems to be heading strongly towards individualized medicine, right? The reports you summarized suggest we might move beyond these general press for 3 minutes protocols.
We're already seeing clear evidence that the physiological response to acupressure is highly individual. It really depends on factors like your unique tissue density, how sensitive your nervous system is, maybe even your baseline brainwave patterns. So a generic duration or frequency might be good, but perhaps not optimal for you specifically.
So the future isn't just knowing the points, but knowing exactly how long your body needs you to press them in that moment.
Precisely. The really exciting direction involves personalized treatment protocols. Imagine using technology like wearable devices that can actually sense the pressure you're applying, combined with real-time biometric feedback, like heart rate variability monitoring. HRV is a fantastic indicator of your autonomic balance, that sympathetic versus parasympathetic state.
So the idea would be maybe your smartwatch tells you, okay, keep pressing, stop now. Your HRV shows you've reached optimal parasympathetic tone.
That's exactly the kind of application being explored. And add to that, AI and machine learning models, they could potentially integrate your personal health data demographics, clinical history, biomarkers to fine-tune the dose response, to figure out the exact duration and frequency needed for your specific anxiety profile or health goal.
Wow. Taking this ancient practice and making it hyper-personalized with cutting-edge tech.
It's about leveraging technology to make this incredibly wise ancient practice perfectly precise and tailored to the individual.
This has been a really illuminating deep dive. We started in the chaos of feeling overwhelmed and stressed, and we've hopefully landed on a clear path towards having more self-control, more calm. Let's try and synthesize the big aha moments for everyone listening.
I think the main takeaway is that this advanced acupressure isn't some kind of magic or mystery. It's really applied neuroscience. It's targeting specific anatomical hubs, fascia, neurovascular bundles, to actively shift your body's balance away from panic and towards rest. We're literally modulating your internal chemistry, boosting GABA, tweaking that serotonin dimmer switch, releasing natural endorphins.
And crucially, we've armed you, the listener, with 5 specific evidence-informed tools you can start using immediately. GB13 up near the hairline for that quick mental reset. PC6 on the wrist to anchor the heart-mind connection, remembering the pregnancy caution.
Yes.
The ear shen men point for rapid relief when panic starts to rise.
The quick fix.
SP6 on the inner leg for deeper hormonal and constitutional balance, again with that critical pregnancy contraindication.
Absolutely vital.
And LV3 on the foot for that emotional detox, releasing a pent-up physical tension and frustration.
5 powerful points. The power is immediate, and it's literally in your own hands. You don't necessarily need to wait for an appointment to begin exploring this path toward feeling more resilient.
Okay, and here's our deep dive final thought for you to take away and maybe mull over. It builds on what you mentioned earlier about the brain's ability to change, about neuroplasticity. The research doesn't just show that these techniques provide relief in the moment.
No, it goes deeper. It demonstrates that consistently practicing these techniques, literally using your own hands as instruments of calm, seems to lead to long-term neuroplasticity changes.
Meaning
You're not just treating an anxious feeling right now. You're actively strengthening and reorganizing the connections within your brain's regulatory networks. Over time, with regular practice, you are quite literally helping to train your brain's structure and function. You're building resilience from the inside out, making yourself potentially less reactive to stress down the line.
So the journey from ancient wisdom to scientifically validated healing continues. And maybe committing to just 5 minutes of precise pressure today isn't just about feeling better now.
It's truly an investment in a calmer, potentially fundamentally rewired self tomorrow. Keep exploring.